This Satya, is something we must first talk about. Because उस सत्य तक फिर एक बार हमको पता चल गया कि चलो दैट इज वेयर वी आर ऑल हेडेड अल्टीमेटली, दैट इज द पर्सपेक्टिव फ्रॉम वेयर वी हैव टू लिव अवर लाइफ। उस सत्य से कनेक्ट होके हमारे लाइफ के इवेंट्स को भी देखना है, हमारे लाइफ के हैपनिंग्स को देखना है, मेरे मेरे बॉडी को देखना है, मेरे स्किल्स को देखना है, मेरे माइंडसेट को देखना है, मेरे अंदर के अच्छे और बुरे को देखना है, मेरे बाहर के एनवायरमेंट के होते हुए चेंजेस को देखना है, क्लाइमेट्स को देखना है, ये नदियों को देखना है, पहाड़ को देखना है। उस पर्सपेक्टिव से अगर मैं देखना स्टार्ट कर दूं, ओके, लाइफ कैन बी वेरी वेरी ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव। ओके, एंड कृष्ण की और हर बड़े से बड़े गुरु की कोशिश यही रही है, अपने अपने वक्तव्यों में ये बोलने की कोशिश रही है कि वो पर्सपेक्टिव जब तुम बदल दोगे तो देन तुम्हें तुम्हारे प्रॉब्लम्स, ओके, बड़े खोखले लगेंगे, तुम्हें तुम्हारी पूरी लाइफ ही खोखली लगेगी। ओके, लेकिन द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज तुम जिसके साथ कनेक्ट हो जाओगे, द ऑल पावरफुल, देन यू विल रियलाइज योर ट्रू पावर ऑल्सो। ओके, देन यू वोंट बी वरीड अबाउट a few things changing in your life here and there, because your perspective has changed. Not that things will stop changing for you, things will continue to go on doing their business of transient nature as they are always doing, but it is your perspective that changes. And that is why, to understand that perspective, depending on each of our personality, we have the different paths that one can take. And those paths or the marks, okay, are based on the idea of bringing together your body, your mind, your intellect, and finally connecting it with your soul to such a level that a fusion of all these things happen. A fusion of your self and the higher self happens, and that's why each of these marks have been called in the Bhagavad Gita, each of these chapters in fact in Bhagavad Gita have been called as yogas. Yoga is simply the coming together of it, and then there are 4 such paths, right? So in our introductory session today, I thought we will explore the 4 distinct paths, because we will just first understand what the paths, what they are, and then very loosely also understand where do we lie in each of them, what is something that resonates with us. So of course we have the karma, the gyan, the raj, and the bhakti yoga. Okay, so 4 different paths, in all, generally. Of course, there is the path of meditation, there is a path of, Ashtanga yoga and other things also, but I'm generally, classifying them because ultimately those also, whether it is dhyan or whether it is Ashtanga yoga, etc., they all eventually form the path of karma yoga itself in some or the other way. Okay, so let's explore and, briefly touch upon, each of these paths one by one, right? So friends, what is your take very quickly? What is your idea in general? What is Karma Yoga's philosophy? When you say, okay, let me base my life from the perspective of Karma Yoga, what do you mean?
From the learnings that we have done so far, I would say Karma Yoga is nothing but uh, doing the karma that has come to you as a role play. This is my role in the in the biggest play, which is called the world, and
Hmm.
the director has given me this role, and I'm doing this role. And inside of that, any karma that comes to you, just doing that, knowing that this is, um, I'm not the doer. It's being done through
Very
me
good.
by him, and
Hmm.
I'm just doing the karma. But that I is not him. The I is Soham, and the Soham is doing the karma, and living life from that is karma.
Perfect. Perfect. Very good. Yes, Surbi?
Yeah, it's like absolving the doership in whatever you do. Uh, that's what is Karma Yoga.
Correct. So Bhagavad Gita mein Krishna has, started off by explaining Arjun about Karma Yoga. At one point, while explaining Karma Yoga, he tells Arjun that it is the path of action, and he's mentioning small phrase. He says yoga karmasu kaushalam, meaning योग, कर्म योग मतलब और क्या है, इट्स कौशलम, कौशलम मीन्स स्किल, ओके, एंड yoga karmasu kaushalam. Karma is action. So he says basically karma yoga is nothing but, your skill in the action that you do. What is the skill? It's the action. Yes, you are doing your action. You are doing it well. All of that is fine. You are doing it skillfully. He's not talking about that skill. He's talking about the real skill is that you are doing the action, but it is not ego driven. Dakshata, as she said, right? The doership is not there. I am doing something, okay, I'm doing it well, okay. That Kaushalam is not talking about whether you do it with finesse and all that. No, he's saying I'm doing it, but it is not done through any ego involvement. So then, how do you do it? You do it in such a way that whatever you do, it is as if you're offering it and doing it for a higher purpose. You are doing whatever is needed, okay, but you are offering your deeds to a higher purpose, to existence itself. And when you have to, do that, then that means you have to think of yourself as somebody who has been given that role to do. So you've given me a role, existence, I do it for you. You asked me to do it. I'm the medium to do it. I'm not even the doer. I will do it to the best of my abilities. Thinking like that and doing it, okay, without any ego involvement is what Krishna says. That is Kaushalam. That is your real skill in karma. Naturally, when that happens, you do not have any anticipation or attachment to the results of that karma. Okay. When this can be done by somebody regularly in every action of his life, step by step, every single day, then he is a master in karma yoga, and that's a true karma yoga. Okay, so of course, living life like this, what will it do to you? When you are doing every action so purely, so driven that it is existence was asked me to carry this out, I am just merely the medium who is doing it. Slowly, what happens is your consciousness, because there is no ego trace inside it. There's a lot of purity in whatever you are doing. So your consciousness starts slowly transforming the world around you. Okay. Every action then that you do is like a sacred offering. You may help a sick person. You may pull someone out from a danger. Or you may be simply performing your daily chores. But you do it without ownership of the results. There is no anxiety. There is no criticism or praise expected because you are not the doer, right? Like Gandhiji would say, satisfaction lies in the effort, not in the attainment. Full effort is full victory, he would say. Full effort is full victory. So a karma yogi would be able to do that. And being able to live like that, do your actions like that, is freedom. But freedom from what? Freedom not from the work, not from the karma itself, freedom from the ego that would limit you and your, distort your karma, corrupt your karma. Okay. So in a way, when you practice karma yoga and bring that to your life, your consciousness grows. Your consciousness grows. Every action that you do consciously, that starts transforming the world around. Okay. That's why karma yoga is indeed a very powerful concept. Okay, indeed a very powerful concept, right? But probably the most difficult one also, because on a day-to-day basis, maintaining it, thinking about it like that, and then going about doing your tasks, not very easy. You have to be meditative. You have to be always aware, and awareness, if you lose it, all of a sudden you become the doer. And that is where, the trick in karma yoga is, all about awareness ultimately, right? So karma yoga becomes the number one path, right? And people keep talking about that I am a karma yogi, right? मैं अपना कर्म अच्छे से कर लेता हूँ and all. Everyone keeps saying this. लेकिन इशू ये है कि कर्म करते वक्त भी बहुत ज्यादा अगर ईगो के साथ अटैच्ड है, ओके, सो देन मैंने किया वाला भाव है, तो फिर आप कर्मयोगी हुए नहीं. सो कर्म योगी से इसीलिए या कर्म योग से निकल के लोग दूसरे पाथ्स को एक्सप्लोर करते हैं, जानना चाहते हैं दूसरे पाथ्स, फिर क्या करेंगे. सो दैट ब्रिंग्स अस टू ज्ञान योग, ओके, द पाथ ऑफ नॉलेज.